Alrighty, we are here with the Necromancer gameplay. This is just my female Necromancer that I have. My co-op Necromancer is a hell of a lot better, but this was just the one that I used for video purposes in just my free time. My other one is when I want to co-op with my friends, so me and him just play that character, and then when I want to play Necromancer, I just use this one. So I'm not going to cheese and use gems right away. I'm just going to play the game with found weapons. Next, I go to the Drowned Temple. There we go. Fields of Misery. I am going to make my Necro look really cool. I can transmogrify and things like that, but I'm going to do that obviously off camera, because this isn't a playthrough, so you guys don't have to see everything. I'm just going to be playing this just whenever I feel like getting some Necromancer stuff up. Now, if I had to review the Necromancer right now, or just if I had to, if you guys asked me, is the Necromancer worth the money? Is the Necromancer worth the $20 in Canada? I don't know. I think you guys are paying $15 in the States or wherever else. But I paid $19.99 for it. But again, that's probably just Canadian prices. So if you ask me right now, is the Necromancer worth it? I will tell you abso-freaking-lutely. If you like the Witch Doctor a lot, then you're really going to enjoy the Necromancer. You will really enjoy the Necromancer if you enjoy the Witch Doctor. Because the Necromancer is basically a juiced up version of the Witch Doctor. The Witch Doctor's summons are the dogs, which aren't nearly as good as the skeletons, but I mean, they're something. The dogs are good in their own right when it comes to that character, but I find the skeletons are just 1,000 times better. But the Necromancer has the skill called Revive, which is like it sounds. So I kill these enemies here. So I'll get these enemies killed. And as you can see, the little corpses there. You press square, boom, they come back and fight for you. So whatever you kill, you can bring back and fight for you if there's corpses. So I can just press square and I can bring that. You can only have up to 10. But yeah, if you guys can see that, look at that. And I can still summon mages. Like, I can just keep bringing mages up too, with my essence. All these people are my support. So that's why you have to play the game on a higher difficulty, because you just have so much support. It's like the game just becomes... It's on easy mode, speaking of which. I'm going to turn it up to expert. But yeah, you have so many skills that can benefit your character. You basically don't have to do a damn thing when you have the Necromancer, but I'm just in the habit now, just always reviving and keeping my party as big as possible just for hardcore mode. Because hardcore mode, it's like you always have to be on your toes, because one death and you're done, that's it. And if you want to get level 70 hardcore, you have to just be really careful, so that's why I tend to do revive and things a lot. And I tend to stay ranged, just solely for that, because there's a lot of bosses and enemies that have projectiles and have area of effect attacks, like the Molten, or the Molten and the other one. I forget what it's called at the moment. But when they die, it just explodes, so you always have to be careful. I mean, I got the bone armor, which is really good to use. Yeah, the revive skills really nice. The mage skills are really nice. You can get skills too that can make your essence. You can gain more essence, and there's ones where the summons don't cost as much essence. And there's also skills where when your mages die, they have a chance, or when they go away, they have a chance to drop corpses, which can allow you to revive. Because your skeletons, right, as you can see, are always with you. Even if you save and quit, your skeletons are still there with you. And they can die. On the higher difficulties, the skeletons do die, but then they just come back. I think just because as long as there's corpses on the ground, they just come back. But yeah, the Necromancer, he is very, or he, not he or she, but the Necromancer class, I could say, just for the sake, because it's both genders. But The Necromancer itself as a character, I just find it's very beginner, it's very beginner oriented as well. I found. And not saying if you use the Necromancer you're a beginner, not in any way, shape, or form, but if you're a beginner to the franchise, or just this game in general, because this game does play different from Diablo 2, but if you're a beginner and you just want to play this game to have fun and get some awesome gear, make your character look cool, by all means pick the Necromancer, because as you guys can see, all this damage that I can do, and I've died probably maybe once with the Necromancer, but I don't even think I have died. But it's such an overpowered character, and it's just, you can just tell it's beginner oriented because of all the buffs and things that you can do with the character itself. Same thing with the Barbarian. I find the Barbarian is more beginner based just because of all the buffs that you can get. Make your character a lot stronger, things like that. Nerf the enemies. Buffing meaning make your character stronger, and nerfing means make it weaker, for those of you who don't know. So buff is basically plus, and nerf is negative. And the Necromancer has skills where you nerf the enemies too, so you basically make the enemies weaker, while your characters are stronger. And the Necromancer is really good for ranged because your mages stay at range, as you've seen right there really quick. If you guys did see it, I mean, I can just summon him again. But yeah, the mages stay at range and just cast. And you can also turn them into archers. If you don't want mages, you can make them into archers. And the archers are obviously good for ranged attacks as well. But yeah, that's very good, very good starter character for those of you who are wanting to get into the game. Just to hop on, if you want to hop on and just let off some steam, kill some enemies, pick the Necromancer. Really good for that. The skills are really good. Like I mentioned, I've been mentioning all these skills that you can do, all the buffs and nerfs, things like that. You can really have your enemies just on their heels the whole time. I mean, like I can just stand here and like just look at the damage that they can do. I mean, it's incredible. And you already have your companion with you too. You have your companion that you acquire. And if you make your if you buff up your companion, which you should do, then you're smooth sailing. You always have to turn... I found myself always having to turn up the difficulty with the Necro, because they just get so strong. Now when it comes to quote-unquote DLC, because the Crusader was kind of downloadable content because it was a new character added in. So if you compare the Necromancer to the Crusader, obviously I'm going to be more biased to the Necromancer because Necromancer was my first character in Diablo ever. But if you want to compare the fun factor, just because of all the summoning and all the different spells and stuff that you can do, I prefer the I like the Necromancer better. The buffs for the Crusader are really good. Like I mentioned in the last video of the Crusader I was doing, the Road to Platinum, I had mentioned that the Crusader becomes less fun to play at higher levels, at least to me. To me, I didn't find the Crusader was as fun to play than it is other characters, because other characters I've gotten to higher levels and I've had fun throughout the whole playthrough of said character. So if you compare the fun factor, I would say the Necromancer's funner just for the sake of summoning and spells. But when it comes to power and gear and things like that, I think the Crusader is on par with the Necromancer with that, because the gear's really good, it looks really cool if you want your character to look awesome. The Crusaders, some of the Crusader gear looks crisp. Some of the Crusader gear I really like the look of.
Of course. What? You mean to accompany me?
But fortunately, you didn't have to pay for the Crusader, because I mean, if you had to pay for the Crusader, and you asked me right now if I had to pay for, should I get the Crusader or the Necromancer, I would call you an idiot for getting the Crusader over the Necromancer. I mean, I don't really want to say, at least for me, I could have went without the Crusader if the Necromancer was out. I mean, I would rather have had the Necromancer instead of the Crusader. I don't know why they held off to do the Necromancer character, because they had a Necromancer in the game already, which is a character that you meet up with in Act 2. So it was real heavy foreshadowing. So I was like, why didn't they just do that from the beginning? And then the Crusader looked cool, but then it just got boring. The Necromancer just feels fun, because it almost feels fresh, right? Because, basically, if you want to say, basically, they weren't in Diablo for basically a whole game, because this game came out twice, and in the second release of the game, the Necromancer was available, so really, for a whole game, you didn't have a Necromancer. Then they re-released it for the next-gen consoles, then made the Necromancer. So, technically, the Necromancer's it just freshens it up. And since playing the Necromancer, I found I've enjoyed this game a little more. It brought new life to the game, and I'm enjoying it. It's basically like when I first got Diablo 3 for Christmas there one year. It's basically like it brought me back to that. I just love playing this game now. For like a little bit a day, I have to get on my Diablo fix. I have to get it. Okay, I'm doing actual quests now. I'm not doing bounties. And obviously, if you guys ever want to play Diablo 3, I'm down for that. Doesn't matter if you're using the same character as me. I'm not one of those people that... I'm not like Cartman in World of Warcraft. Oh, you can't use dwarf because I'm the dwarf. No, you can use whatever character you want. You can play however the hell you want. I always ask the person I'm playing with. If it's a stealth game, I just ask, how do you play? If you want to play stealth, I'll play stealth. If you want to play run and gun, I can do run and gun. Or if you want to run and gun, I'll snipe. Like, I never like to choose because I don't want to feel like I'm being bossy. And just because someone has a certain playstyle, it doesn't mean that it won't mash with yours. I mean, sometimes unorthodox styles work. So I give it a chance. Then there's people that are real big jerks, like some people on Call of Duty, they just never play the objective. They play domination, things like that, and they never go for the flags, they just go for the kills. That stuff's annoying. So I'm just going to get the other crystal, or the other ball, or whatever it is. Yeah, the beacon of light. But of course I'm going to clear out these areas. Because XP's XP. Never get enough of XP.
This brings back memories. I too enjoy hunting evil creatures through strange new lands. I was talking about happy memories.
I need to revive. Okay, here's the other spot. Might have to turn up the difficulty again. Jeez. I can only do it once per game, though, unfortunately. I'm kind of glad that they have it like that, because then you can't be like, oh, I'm going to play on Torment 5, and then after I'm done getting the XP, I'm just going to go right back to normal, and then power through everything. It's like, nope, you only pick one difficulty. Like, you can only go up or down once. So when I reload the save, next time I play from Master, I can only pick Torment 1 or Expert. Yeah, because I'm on Expert now from Hard. Same thing if I start the game on Hard, I can only go up to Master or back down to Normal. And that really disturbs me because if you look at up to Torment 13, there's still 3 blank slots. So it's like they probably had planned to make Torment 16. At some point, they probably just said, in case we want to make Torment 16, we're going to leave 3 blank spots. It made me uncomfortable because I'm like, well, there's only a certain amount of width the cheeks can get spread before you just get demolished out there. So I'm just going to check my stuff real quick because I've been overburdened, so... Oh, absolutely. I got a socketed crown, but I can change the look of that. Got a better ring. Better boots, but how's the intelligence? Yeah, that gives me vitality and stuff, so I can salvage all of this.
In the end, fate is a cruel mistress. Your strength is needed to end the horrors that beset this world. My final wish.
I won't change the look right now, just for the sake of the video. I'm just gonna go back, get this objective done. Grab this scythe. Nope. Trash. It is socketed, so I could put a huge Imperial Ruby in there. It's not socketed. I thought the emblem was, or I thought the little icon on the side was a clear circle and not a star. Okay, you're skeleton. You're not worthy. Oh, the mage left a corpse. I was like, how'd that corpse get there? Why are you? Ooh. The Nephilim Monument. A side quest. You are all gonna get murked. You don't even realize it yet. And I will add insult to injury and bring your dead corpses back to fight for me after I just killed you. You will fight against your own kind. Like, is the Necromancer really fair? Like, I'm not even mad, because they put it in the game, so how can I get mad at a character being overpowered if they put it in the game?
I studied these battles in Keen's books, but seeing them is much worse.
I mean, there's enemies over here. I could get a little bit more XP. I'm not mad at that. The map. Okay, we're good. There's just a few little nooks and crannies there that I don't need to explore. Oh, wait, gloves. Always check those piles because I think it's because of the higher difficulties. I found a ton of legendaries just rolling through bone piles. Not really a ton, but I'd say like about 5 or 6, but I mean, that's a ton considering it's just a little measly pile. You just roll through it, and then you get that big beam of light. You're like, oh, damn, I didn't kill anything. I didn't put my life in danger, nothing. I just rolled through a pile and got a legendary. So, yeah, put these on both. Quest complete. Perfect. I'm actually so happy that there was an option to put a female Necromancer in, because I'd rather have it where you can choose the gender just to have a better experience Instead of just playing basically multi-dimensional, I should say, instead of just being the typical one-dimensional male character. Like the Barbarian was by default a male because he was a huge, big, strong character, so it had to be a male, couldn't be a female. The female characters were the ranged character and the magic character in Diablo 2. And then there was like an assassin character, which was the assassin in the expansion. So I'm glad that there's a choice. It's always better to have a choice. It's always the old expression. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, right? Choices are always good. Now, what skills did I get for 25? Crystallization. And frost spikes. Okay. I did get better gloves, so I'm going to throw those on. So it doesn't keep saying it. Nope, not bone spear. I want skeleton mage. I'm going to be using the enchantress, so I should get the skeleton archers. And they give increased attack speed, so I'm cool with that. Bone spirit, that's the skill I got. I like bone armor though.
And who is no matter. Your mother will soon share your fate, little one. The shard is mine. Fill this temple with their blood.
Magda, you really want to step up? Like, look, I don't even have to do anything. And then I can add insult to injury and just be like, oh, I killed him so easily, now I'm going to have him fight for me. I don't want them, but the corpses are there. Why waste a good corpse?
This fight was too easy. She's toying with us. We must get back to Uncle Deckard right away.
Okay, so I go back to town. Pretty sure this quest is done. Okay, the stranger here now. Alrighty. So that quest is done, guys. That was just some more Necromancer footage. I showed a couple more skills that I didn't show in the other video, just to give you guys basically another bit of inspiration, if you will, for if this character is worth your money or not. And like I said, it is a thumbs up. It is a definite purchase from me, but don't take it from me. If you don't want it, don't buy it. But if you're going to trust me, in my word, you've seen what the character does. You've seen what the character is capable of. So, yeah. Hit the like button if you guys liked it. Hit the subscribe button if you guys like this video also, because you guys already know we like to keep it all the way G. See you guys later.